Our media partner iNewsSource has delved into the political party spending and how it's impacting the race to replace County Supervisor Ron Roberts. Democrat Nathan Fletcher and Republican Bonnie DeMannis are vying for the seat. Today, I spoke with iNewsSource reporter Jill Castellano about how political parties are getting involved. Jill, welcome.
Thank you.
So in your report, you find that the Democratic Party has spent nearly $1 million backing former Assemblyman Nathan Fletcher. Why is this race so important?
Well, it's important because this is the chance that the Democrats have been waiting for to get a seat on the Board of Supervisors. This is a group of 5 people who run the county of San Diego. They're responsible for transportation, housing and homelessness issues, public health, and there are 5 of them, and they're all Republicans. 4 of them have actually been in office since the 1990s because they don't have term limits, except now there are new term limits on the supervisors, and this seat, which covers most of the city of San Diego, is open to 2 new candidates for the first time in literally a generation. So the Democratic Party is going to do whatever it can to get Nathan Fletcher in that seat.
But the Republican Party is not giving up this seat without a fight. You are also reporting that it is actually backing former DA Bonnie DeMannis. How much has the Republican Party spent?
Right. The Republican Party certainly is getting involved as well. They've spent almost $200,000 supporting Bonnie DeMannis. We know that both parties will really step up when it's a race that's important to them, and we can definitely expect that both parties are going to continue to spend money come this fall.
And is there a limit to how much the parties can spend supporting these candidates?
There is a limit. The County of San Diego has been trying for many years to try to cut back on this spending by political parties, but they haven't been successful in doing that. They do have a limit that says political parties can't donate more than $26,000 to county supervisors candidates like Nathan Fletcher. However, there's this big exception in the law that basically says if you run a political party, you can spend however much money you want to telling registered members of your party who to vote for. So the Democratic Party can spend however much money they want to telling registered Democrats, go out and vote for Nathan Fletcher, and they don't have any limits for doing that. I talked to Bob Stern for this story. He's a campaign finance expert. He co-authored the Political Reform Act of California, and he talked a little bit about this. Here's what he said.
You have strong contribution limits in San Diego in terms of how much somebody can give to a candidate directly. But what the parties have found is a loophole, a legal loophole, by the way. Nothing illegal about this.
So it's not just the parties that are jumping into the campaigning. You also report that Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez Fletcher, who is Nathan Fletcher's wife, is also supporting his campaign. What has been her role?
Yeah, this is really interesting because Nathan Fletcher has gotten more money from the Democratic Party in financial support than anyone else has gotten from the political parties this decade. He's gotten so much money. And when you look at the flip side, you see that Lorena Gonzalez Fletcher, who's a state assemblywoman married to Nathan Fletcher, has been the largest donor to the Democratic Party. She's contributed 3 times more than anyone else this election cycle to that party. So what's happening here is she's kind of able to use some of her connections in Sacramento that donate money to her campaign, and then she can donate money to the political party, and then the party, totally legally, is allowed to decide how to spend that money. I talked to Lorena Gonzalez Fletcher for this story. She was supportive. She defended the way that she used her money in this race. Nathan Fletcher was as well. However, Bonnie DeMannis, who is the former district attorney running against him, spoke about it with me as well, and this is what she had to say.
Well, it doesn't surprise me for Nathan, since his wife is chair of the Appropriations Committee and is doing the raising of the money for him, really. So she has unlimited money in her coffers as she runs for assembly. She can take that money and then put it directly into the party.
So very interesting. We'll see how this all plays out in the November election. iNewsSource reporter Jill Castellano, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
iNewsSource is an independently funded nonprofit partner of K.